I'm gonna tell you. I told you guys what I feel about this situation a little bit earlier. Again, right now, I'd probably say Sasuke up until he gets the Mangekyo Sharingan. Even when he has the Mangekyo Sharingan, he gets bodied by Kakashi. I not bodied. Kakashi beats him. Anything above that, Kakashi loses. I think Kakashi loses. And I think I should make it like, well, it's not really specific. Like I think that was like peak Sasuke when Sasuke actually did fight against Danzo. Does Kakashi beat that version of Sasuke? That's crazy to be honest. If I'm being 100, I think that Kakashi probably beats early Mangekyo Sharingan Sasuke. I think that's the most accurate thing because the Sasuke that fought against Danzo, I'd still probably say that Sasuke would probably be better than Kakashi. But as of right, I mean, the thing about Kakashi is that he didn't necessarily get pushed to his limits a lot. You see what I'm saying? Like in the Kakuzu and the Kakuzu and Hidan fight, that was super early in the series, and a lot of people do understand that Kakashi got a lot stronger as the series progressed. Like in the fight versus Deidara, he was barely able to use his Kamui just once. In the War Arc, he was literally Kamuiing tailed beast. Like it was crazy. So Kakashi gets stronger, but I'm gonna just say he loses to the Sasuke that fought against Danzo. He wins versus the Mangekyo Sharingan Sasuke that fought against Killer B. I think that's easy to say.
Hello, everyone. It's
That
Seth,
says
the
I hit
program,
play.
and with me today, I have Swag Kage.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Yeah, also known as Chuck or Clyde. And yep, today we're doing Sasuke versus Kakashi for no particular reason. I just thought it was interesting. Kind of see them start to scrap off in the 5 Kage Summit at the very end. It's implied that Kakashi's gonna have to fight him like Hiruzen fought Orochimaru, stuff like that. So we don't want to talk about the 5 Kage Summit too much, as it does seem pretty clear that Sasuke in the 5 Kage Summit, by the time he has the Susanoo and is fighting
Yeah, this is what I just said. I think that this one right here probably beats Kakashi. Well, technically I said Danzo, but this is the same Sasuke, like the same day. Yeah, this Sasuke probably wins, but anytime before that, I think Kakashi wins.
So would probably win, while Kakashi could absorb an arrow with
he said Kakashi
would probably win Kage Summit, by the time he has the Susanoo and is fighting Danzo, would probably win, while Kakashi could absorb an arrow with his Mangekyo. How many arrows can Sasuke shoot? Kakashi would have to use Kamui to avoid. It seems like it's way easier for Sasuke to fight than Kakashi. Also, Sasuke's speed with that form is just so insane. Kakashi,
that's a crazy. Hold up.
It's way easier for
Sasuke
to fight than Kakashi.
Oh,
also
Sasuke's
speed with that form is just so insane that Kakashi cannot react normally. He has to react with me.
Damn, this is crazy.
That Kakashi cannot react.
Yo, after Sasuke just fought against Danzo
with that form,
like after Sasuke just fought against Danzo, damn near blind, damn near half blind, and he's doing this to Kakashi. He's doing this to Kakashi. Wait a minute, bro. Look alive. He's doing this to Kakashi. My goodness. What is going on here? What is going on here?
Has to react with Mangekyo Kam.
War Arc Kakashi, I'd put War Arc Kakashi on EMS Sasuke level. I'd put him there. I really think it depends on which version of War Arc Kakashi we talking about. I think Kakashi with 2 Mangekyo Sharingans, I think that scales above Sasuke with two EMS. You might even you wouldn't argue Rinnegan Sasuke. No. I don't even know. No. Rinnegan Sasuke at 17 years old is still above any version of Kakashi. I think that's fair.
So it's very clear that Sasuke probably wins that fight pretty much most of the time, unless you think Kakashi like Kamui's his head off. It's always something that could happen, who knows, but it seems unlikely.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like if you were to do it in like an RPG, it would be like a 1% to hit,
yeah, like a hard to hit one-hit KO Pokemon move or something.
Yeah.
Yo, I never really played these Pokemon games. I really never played these Pokemon games, bro. This is crazy.
So the other thing we're going to be talking about, I suppose, then, is we want to talk about Pain arc Kakashi versus Itachi fight Sasuke.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Right now, damn. I don't even know. I'm gonna just go Kakashi. I'm gonna probably just go Kakashi. Yeah. The thing that makes this difficult is that we didn't really get to see Kakashi use Kamui all that much versus Pain. He used it twice, but let's be 1,000. Like, he was already like damn near finished by the time he started to use the Kamui. So I'm not really sure how proficient he was when he did use the Kamui at that particular time. I don't even know. I'm still
probably
Kakashi.
More interesting, and there's a lot more things to talk about. So I guess I'll let you start since I had like a 2-minute intro here.
So I feel like if these two are in character, it probably wouldn't like go to the death unless something crazy happened, right? Because Sasuke at this point in the story is portrayed as like kind of more heroic.
It was a good ominous slaps
and stuff. Doesn't like to kill people. You know, all that stuff. Like, he won't even kill the goons that Orochimaru sends at him to practice. He, like,
unless you think he was going to Kirin murder all of Team 7. Then, yeah.
Maybe. So, the way that you can just...
Here's the thing. This is overrated. Sasuke was not about to Kirin murder everybody. I think that Naruto would have survived. Naruto was durable enough. Yamato would have probably done something with Wood Style. I think he'd have survived. Sai and Sakura, they might become a pack. Like, we might have been smoking on their packs early. Early.
Justify that is like maybe he was just gonna call Kirin to scare them and make them leave.
Maybe.
Which I don't think is unlikely given what he does later,
Another narrative thing that someone else brought up to me is that, you know, I was talking to people about Sakura's narrative and, you know, trying to justify Sasuke's behavior. And is it like toxic for the heroes to always chase after him, blah blah blah, why is he trying to kill them? And one of the reasons he wants to kill these characters is because he wants to cut off the past completely so he can feel unhindered in his path to be an Avenger and do his thing,
which never really made that much sense to me. Like, he really only had like three people that he really wanted to kill. Like, let's keep it 1,000. He wanted to kill Danzo and he wanted to kill the 2 elders. Danzo and the 2 elders, it's not like they were being held up as like, hey, the best of the best that the Hidden Leaf Village had to offer. Not only that, I mean, at this particular time, the Hidden Leaf Village was already destroyed, so I don't even know where Sasuke was going. But he literally just killed Danzo, and if he'd have pulled up to the Hidden Leaf Village and said, yo, these 2 people ordered the execution of the Uchiha, I'm pretty sure they would have probably punished them too. Like, Sasuke didn't have to do all this.
Feels like he needs to find his own path of power, and he feels like these relationships...
Maybe Sasuke gets stomped on by Pain or Kakashi. People saying it's a stomp. I don't think it's a stomp. I'm still go Kakashi, but I don't think it's a stomp.
Because they exist, they can hold them back, which might explain why he might launch a Kirin at...
Oh, big free game in the chat. What's good, Joe?
7. Or, you know, be like, oh, Kakashi, I wanted to kill you really bad, or like, you know, stuff like that. Or like Naruto, I need to cut you off and murder you at the end, or I need to kill Sakura or something like that. That could be reasons why, but maybe you could argue he's heroic and he wouldn't want to, but it doesn't really matter.
The other thing, I guess the other thing for that is that at this point he had like completed his training, right? So like he didn't really need to like not think about them because he was gonna go fight Itachi regardless. But yeah, like you were saying, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So if we assume that they're fighting to the death, then for some reason, like Kakashi stole Sasuke's like nutter butter. Like
what?
Then I'm like hung up on this so much is because this fight completely changes if they use like Kirin and Kamui, right?
Okay.
So if you think they fight in character and stuff, these like battle ender like ultimate abilities don't really come up. They probably don't try to kill each other. I definitely don't.
Yo, shout out to
If you've ever convinced
ads,
anybody
bro.
of anything, you're a high ticket closer.
Shout out to the ads, bro. Yo, this is like something completely new to me, bro.
is to kill Sasuke. It's questionable whether or not Sasuke would try to kill Kakashi, but I'm leaning towards he probably wouldn't pre-Kage Summit. But if you are assuming that it's like the gloves are off, then I guess
I gotta disagree with that one there. But I might have to disagree with that one. I don't know. I don't know. I think if Kakashi was like right in front of Sasuke when Itachi was like sitting right there, like all sick and everything, and Kakashi's like, I'm not gonna let you fight Itachi. Sasuke would probably body Kakashi. Well, he wouldn't have bodied him, but he would have tried to body Kakashi.
just talk about that.
I mean, it depends anyway, because for Kakashi, he tends to. So this is his whole thing throughout the entire series, even against Zabuza when he was rusty, is he always holds back, like almost always holds back. One of the only times we see him not holding back.
My guy says, get an ad blocker. Yeah, I don't think it's that serious to get an ad blocker. Like, what even? I never even got an ad blocker, to be honest. I'm an upstanding citizen of the law. I get YouTube Premium. I might download YouTube Premium. When my next YouTube check in, my next YouTube check comes in, I'm getting YouTube Premium. I got y'all.
Is when he's saving someone else, or after the death of Edo Zabuza, where he says, "All right, I'm mad. Like, I'm actually gonna go all out. Like, this war needs to go." Like, and it's actually explained in the data book that he never uses strength unless it's needed, which also explains one of the reasons in the Zabuza fight, like after Zabuza killed Haku, or he killed Haku and then Zabuza tried to slash him, why he was started like to backhand Zabuza, because Zabuza started becoming like conflicted and Kakashi started getting mad, and he's like, "No, dude, you need to wake up a bit. Like, you're clearly not doing what you believe," and stuff like that. But a good example of this is when fighting Kakazu, he never whips out the MS, and he only implies he was going to whip it out at the end when Kakazu was going to blast him when he's on the ground with fire.
Which is why I always found it confusing as to why Kakashi said that Sage Naruto surpassed him. Like, Sage, respectfully. Well, matter of fact, not even Sage Naruto. I'm talking about Naruto when he got the Rasen Shuriken. Respectfully, I'm sorry. Kakashi still bodies that Naruto. If you guys aren't necessarily sure which Naruto that is, that's pretty much just base Naruto with the Rasen Shuriken. I don't know what Kakashi was thinking. Maybe it's that humbleness that he, like what Minato said. Minato once said that Jiraiya's like incomplete Sage mode was stronger than Minato's complete Sage mode. Let's keep it. I think if Minato was still alive, he'd probably say that Jiraiya is stronger than him. He'd probably do something like that. Like, well, I don't know.
And then he's like, "Yes, I could have beat Kakazu with MS, but I'd be in the hospital right now, and I was trying not to." So you could argue the same for Sasuke, that he just would not use the MS at first. Whereas Sasuke might not use Curse Mark 2 at first, and with Kirin, he doesn't use that until he's out of chakra at the very end, which was his grand plan versus Itachi.
Yeah.
It's because he doesn't require pretty much really any chakra of significant amount to control Kirin to launch at his foes while they're both exhausted. And it's like an insanely powerful jutsu even without his chakra. So
I definitely think it's more likely that he uses CS2 than it is that Kakashi uses Kamui. Like,
I agree with that. I think like Kakashi, he usually does this as like one of the last resorts. Like in the fight versus Pain, like if there was a certain situation where Kakashi absolutely needed to use Kamui, like during the actual fight, it would have been during a fight like versus Pain. Like, let's keep it 1,000. We knew that Kakashi wasn't really gonna win from the get go. So for him not actually use Mangekyo Sharingan like from the rip in that battle, it pretty much tells me like Kakashi doesn't really use the Mangekyo Sharingan all that much. Like, especially since coming into the battle, he had the intel that, hey, Pain defeated Jiraiya, and Kakashi knows damn well Jiraiya is beating him as well.
even if it is
yes,
a death match. So they're definitely both like at that like Akatsuki level bare minimum, because like Kakashi's clashing with Kakazu and Sasuke's fighting Deidara.
I guess we can go there.
But they both like lose, and it's like you said, it's implied that they have to bring out like their next level abilities in order to actually keep up. Like Sasuke needs CS2 and Kakashi needs Kamui.
Right. One argument you might be able to make is that, yeah, Sasuke might be implied to be able to fight in that Kakuzu battle and potentially win.
Yeah.
Which is somewhat implied by Kakashi and Naruto, where Naruto feels...
Naruto is steadily getting strong. Oh, I read it the wrong way. You, who has always been there in front of his eyes, you who have always been there in front of his eyes, Naruto is steadily getting stronger, right, Sasuke? Ooh,
inferior to Sasuke and still inadequate about his performance while thinking about Sasuke after beating Kakashi with the Rasen Shuriken, possibly implying that Sasuke would have done
I can
better.
Get that.
And which is crazy because Kakashi's like, wow, dude, like,
Naruto, you really have become strong enough to stand side by side with me, or even surpassing. See, this is the thing. This is what I was talking about earlier. I think Kakashi's being way too nice right here. Kakashi's being way too nice right here. Naruto has not surpassed him. He has not. I'm sorry.
You even surpassed me in that fight, which, granted, he did technically do more damage to Kakashi than Kakashi, but...
I mean, yeah, but Konohamaru beat one of the paths to pain. Like, now, are we going to say now Konohamaru is over Kakashi? Konohamaru surpassed Kakashi because he did that? Like, nah.
As we know, Kakashi might have been able to pretty much almost solo with the Mangekyo, whereas Naruto couldn't with his Rasen Shuriken. So.
I'm just going to say I don't think Kakashi was being, like, honest, whether it was with him.
My guy Swag Kage knows what's going on. He was not being honest. He was not being... I'm sorry. Kakashi was capping. Straight cap.
He just meant, like, whatever. The normal Sharingan version or something.
Yeah, but I think that he was just being humble, saying that Naruto...
I don't even think that.
Trying to make him feel better.
Him.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, well, I mean, also, I think, like, Kakashi may have genuinely believed it, even if it's not true, because the Rasen Shuriken is extremely impressive.
Right, maybe he just meant the power of that surpassed him, even.
Yeah, I don't think that if they were to scrap hand-to-hand that Naruto would actually beat up Kakashi unless he used, like, a bajillion clones.
Which is pretty confidently secured with the Pain arc, where 3 Tomo Sharingan Kakashi seems to be way stronger than base Naruto. In fact, some people debate about Kakashi versus Sage Naruto in that arc.
I think this right here would be the best discussion. This would be the best discussion. Well, depending on which Kakashi we're talking about. One thing I will say. Sage mode Naruto versus Pain, it went eerily similar as what's it called, as Kakashi versus Pain. I was even just having a discussion about this on Twitter with my guy Kido Maki. Once Pain really got his powers back, like once Pain got his push and pull back, because remember, he entered the fight without his push and pull. Once he got his push and pull back, Naruto was about to get turned to a pack easily. I mean, as soon as he got his push and pull back, he pulled Naruto in, absorbed Naruto's Sage Chakra, and then stuck Naruto in the ground and put rods in him. Like, it really wasn't that difficult. Now, Kakashi put up an even better fight than Naruto, to be honest. I mean, if we're being legitimate. But I think... Sage Naruto would probably still be Kakashi, but I think that right there would probably be like an easier comparison than just base Naruto with the Rasen Shuriken and Kakashi. I think that Kakashi, as Swag was saying, he was fudging it a little bit. He had to be capped.
Which I do think Sage Naruto wins, but
I think Sage Naruto slaps him.
Yeah, but it's very clear that Kakashi's still stronger than base Naruto. Like,
I think that the Kakashi Pain stuff is extremely impressive,
but my bad, y'all. Yeah, it's not me, bro. They got like 5 ads in the vid.
People make it out to be. Now, I've talked about this to gas Kakashi up in the past before.
Yep.
How Kakashi does fight these stronger pains because,
like,
Jiraiya looks at
as well.
Yeah. Jiraiya looks at these, like, it's the Preda animal and what's the other one? Is it the Naraka one?
Yeah,
I think it's the Preda animal and Naraka, and like. These are not, like, these are bumps.
Yo, the craziest thing about Jiraiya, bro, he got packed up and he didn't even see the Diva Path of Pain. I think that's the part. Well, he did see him, but he didn't really fight him. Like, you see what I'm saying? I think that's the biggest part for me. Like, that's crazy.
Paths.
The weakest ones, pretty much, for the most part.
was just saying this, yo.
The animal's not the weakest. I think if like you swapped out animal for human, then it would probably be the 3 weakest. But
we can at least agree though that the Asura and Tendo are probably the strongest. And
yeah, I agree with that. And like Jiraiya looks at them and he's like, he literally says, I can't damage them.
Yeah.
Like.
This is all my wheelhouse, bro. Pain is my favorite character. This is all my wheelhouse, partner. I ain't gonna lie.
Can't even fight them. And then Kakashi is able to fight like Tendo and Asura, and like
this is what I was saying.
Asura,
Kakashi put up a much better fight versus Pain than Sage Mode Naruto. I would never come out of my mouth to say Sage Mode Naruto would lose in a 1v1 versus Kakashi, but objectively, Kakashi did a lot better versus Pain.
Rips off Jiraiya's arm. Now we've talked about this before. Maybe Jiraiya was off guard there. I think it's really weird because he says a whole thing to Jiraiya. He's like, "You warned me not to." So this is the weirdest statement ever because he literally says, "You warned me not to lower my guard, Sensei." But then Jiraiya literally hears that and still gets beat up and like his arm ripped off. So
I think that's just a speed feat for Pain. I think that's just speed feat for Pain. Yo, I never really respected this path of Pain. I forgot what they called it, but I think my biggest problem with that path is just his durability. Like, yo, he got shattered multiple times. Like, he did come back. Like, it's not necessarily like he was out and about. He was out completely out after he got shattered. Nah, he got shattered and came back. But regardless, I mean, his durability.
Like, even if he was caught off guard, which is like definitely implied by the statement, the fact that he heard the whole sentence and still couldn't even like put up his like chakra defense amp or whatever in time is like mad weird. So in any case, like Kakashi's able to Raikiri this thing, not completely kill it. It can still shoot missiles, but like blow it up. So you could argue that maybe he's doing better than Jiraiya. But the thing is, Pain's not going all out.
Yep.
Pain is like, I kind of need to know.
This is true. I think, yeah. I think, this is true. I didn't even really mention this. So Kakashi did better versus Pain, but Pain was he wasn't necessarily going as aggressive. Well, I said it completely wrong. Kakashi did better versus Pain than Naruto did, but Pain wasn't necessarily going all out versus Kakashi. I think that I keep saying, why did I say Boruto? I think that Naruto, if this was like Pain, like asking him questions, if Pain was asking Naruto questions, Naruto would have done a lot better. So yeah, I gotta point that out.
Where Naruto is,
I don't know if you guys noticed, but during the actual Kakashi fight, there was a scene where Pain didn't really have these nose piercings. It's like, it was like seeing actual Yahiko.
Tell me Kakashi's not cooperating. And then he's like, "Oh, okay, you're a little bit of a problem. I'm just gonna kill you." And then he
just two taps him pretty much. So
yeah, Kakashi's just out of the equation. So now I do think it's very impressive that he was able to get Pain to like recognize him as a threat and say, "Oh, I need to get rid of you." But it's disingenuous to say that he was like beating up Tendo and
what's
Asura
even
by himself.
crazier is that the Tendo Pain is able to stab Kakashi and damage him faster than anyone in the series we've seen. Like, no, not joking. I think he does it faster than
even Obito.
Anybody. The only other like examples are like, say, Madara ripping out his eye or something when he's like fatigued on the ground or something, but like full power Kakashi, Pain, it messes him up faster than pretty much anybody just by himself while trying not to kill him. So
yeah,
he actually dodges his Raikiri point blank as well while doing it. So it's clearly not that crazy, but it also depends. How strong do you think Kakashi gets after the Pain arc? Do you think that every fight his Mangekyo and his Sharingan massively evolve, which might be...
Absolutely. Yeah, I even talked about... it's like he gets Zenkai boost after he fights. If you guys don't know what Zenkai boost is, it's like a term in Dragon Ball Z when Saiyans fight. After they fight, they immediately get a power boost. Every time Kakashi fought with his Mangekyo Sharingan, he immediately got a power boost. He could really only do it, I want to say, a couple of times, but he barely could have done it versus Deidara, and he barely just took one arm off of Deidara. Like, and in this fight, he did it multiple times. It was successful multiple times. Even though you could point out that what Kakashi was doing in this fight was a little bit easier. Well, the actual missile was very difficult, but after he comboed with the nail. But yeah, I think he just gets stronger after every single fight. I think so.
somewhat implied by Obito saying, "Oh, so you've mastered your Sharingan," blah blah blah, and stuff like that. But if you don't
Mastered? Like, I gotta see more proof that he mastered. I don't know.
think he's gotten that much stronger, then Kakashi does react to MS Susanoo Sasuke's arrow, which would speed blitz anything Sasuke's done before that. So if you don't think
Which is a
Kakashi
fact.
got that much stronger, then Kakashi would probably stomp CM2 Sasuke or speed blitz him pretty badly.
Yeah.
Which maybe it makes sense if you think that even, Pain would do extremely well in the Kage Summit as well, which might be narratively implied. And then, you have Kakashi
Respectfully, Pain solos the 5 Kage. I just had to get that out the way.
keeping up with Kage somewhat, Sasuke with his MS somewhat. So that depends as well on how much you think Kakashi's grown. Some people like to think he grows astronomically. Some people think he doesn't really grow that much at all. And we just, it depends.
It's not really stated. It's one of those things where, like, how much, like, what do you think, right? And so what I think is, I think that he got stronger, but the amount is unquantifiable.
Yeah.
But what I think really matters there is that, like, when he stumbles back, like, after he does it,
Yes.
like, he's clearly, like, shaken just by trying to even, like, right? And it's not like the force, like, the concussive force or whatever caused him to stumble. It's like he struggled to catch the Susanoo arrow
Right.
in time because of how fast it was.
Yes.
Whereas, like, he didn't really have trouble doing that with, like, the Asurapath's missile. Like, Kamui has never really been a thing where he's like, oh, like, I need, like... He doesn't need to be, like, too much faster than his opponent for it, right? So, like, Kakazu, when he goes into his, like, final mode or whatever, like, blitzes him, like, with the tentacles, and then Kakashi's still like, yeah, but I could have killed him after that, right? So, like, even if Kakazu could have moved or something, he was just fine. And then, like, there's the thing with the Asurapath. He was able to sneak up on Sage Jiraiya, and then, like, Kakashi's able to, like, react to that, like, missile and,
Yeah.
like...
I mean, that's a little bit different. You could argue that the Surapath is actually faster than a missile. It's not like a certain situation where it's like the actual the actual arrow, Indra's arrow from Sasuke Susanoo. It's not like that at all. I think it was called the Path of Pain might actually be stronger than this missile.
teleported away. So the fact that he was like that I got that close to him, like, or that it still forced him to stumble, I feel like that's like maybe it's less of a feat for Kakashi and more of like a thing for Sasuke, because he's able to like intercept like Madara like summoning the
No,
Ghetto Madara.
I understand what you're saying. The reason it is a feat for me for Kakashi is like, while I think
My God, Momo the one says, what's it called? Naruto one shot of pain. Naruto one shot of Path of Pain. That was blitzing Sage Jiraiya and was gonna blitz Tsunade. Naruto speed blitz one shot at said path. I don't even know about that. See, the thing about Naruto when he fought against Pain, most of the time that was during the time when Nagato wasn't necessarily fully all there. Nagato, if you guys recall, he literally just used the huge push and pull. I forgot what it's called. Planet. I forgot what it's called, but it was a push and pull, like the huge one. I know it's like a specific name for that one, but he used that and he was completely drained. Like, and a lot of people like to just say all he did was lose the push and pull. Now he lost more than that, and I think this was made clear when Conan essentially said that the pains took longer to actually recover after he did that. Remember, when he did that, all the pains, like, they went limp. Because all Nagato was doing was funneling all of his chakra into that one Diva Path of Pain. So once they came back up, what's it called? Conan actually said his other paths looked a little bit weaker as well.
it's a feat for Sasuke, definitely. You know,
There it goes, almighty push. I don't know why was, yo, I'm off today, bro.
it confirms that Sasuke is completely different than anyone Kakashi's fought up to this moment, because Kakashi's never been like, I had to whip out the MS right there or I died. He's never said that about really anything. Maybe except for like the very end of the Kakasu fight, but that was like end of battle when he's like fatigued, you know, different. But the reason it's impressive for me is because base Sharingan Sasuke in that Kage Summit is stronger than his Curse Mark II form, where Karin says his chakra is thicker and colder than it ever was in Curse Mark II just now.
No, I agree.
And then, on top of that, he then whips out the dual MS, and then he gets even stronger while fighting Danzo, and his Susanoo only evolves further than that. So he's...
I mean, but how much stock are we putting into this statement right here? Like, I can't believe it's thicker than when he's in the curse mark second state. How much stock do we put in that? Like, are we gonna say just because the chakra is thicker that means he's stronger? Like, we already know, like, chakra doesn't necessarily equate to strength. Like, Kid Naruto had all the chakra in the world. You see what I'm saying? But he was still like failing like basic academy school. So I'm not sure how much stock I could put in this actual statement right here. Maybe you could say, hey, that Sasuke is actually stronger than Curse Mark 2 from other statements, but just this statement I can't rock with.
Then whips out the dual MS, and then he gets even stronger while fighting Danzo, and his Susanoo only evolves further than that. So he's getting amps upon amps upon amps, and then Kakashi reacts to the Susanoo arrow, which would blitz anything Sasuke did before, which is like, it's just crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just think that Kamui is just one of those things that's like hacked out, and like, I think that like
Kamui's one of the things that makes no sense. It makes absolute. In fact, I honestly believe Kamui would be one of those jutsus that's actually effective versus Otsutsuki members. Just like how we see Sasuke use, I forgot what it's called, but just like how we see Sasuke use the replacement jutsu, like his teleportation that he gets from the Rinnegan. Most of his Rinnegan abilities are completely useless versus other Otsutsuki members, but just because of the sheer fact that they're faster and stronger than regular ninjas. Sasuke with his Rinnegan, absolutely. He's completely too hacks for regular ninjas, but Otsutsuki members, they can handle it. With this, though, I personally believe this right here will be one of those hacks abilities. Imagine an Otsutsuki member trying to blitz you, and they just go right through you. Again, this right here is just one of those abilities that's going to be effective no matter who you fight against.
Reaction speed is like, so you know how like Sasuke is not actually as fast as the Raikage, but he's able to dodge the Raikage's like elbow bolt and like tag him. But then, like, he has to use the MS to, like, block.
Bro, I ain't gonna. There's gotta be, like, the third ad of the video.
Raikage's attacks. Because he can't actually move.
Big shout to Ray
Some gates are better left unopened.
Move out of the way. I think it's sort of like that.
That's when he goes version 2. So what happens is that in version 1, he's, like, fighting the Raikage with, like, his Sharingan. And then he goes, like, version 2, and then he basically starts, like, teleporting out of the way of, say, the Amaterasu.
Yeah, but you know how Sasuke's still able to, like, use, like, Amaterasu to, like, protect himself, like, on the Susanoo?
I guess he's able to do, like, jutsu activation in time or something?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think that, like, Kakashi's, like, able to see it and, like, just activate Kamui instantly. But it's not, like, a comfortable use of it.
So, I guess if Kakashi is willing to use Kamui, his activation speed of it is just so insanely cracked that he could just always like avoid any fatal blow.
I don't know about that one. I think there has to be a speed threshold. It has to be a speed threshold. Like, for example, I think anything that this Sasuke could do right here, Kakashi's probably gonna easily be able to Kamui it away. But hypothetically, if he's fighting, like, I don't know, let's say the Sasuke after he got the Rinnegan, I think that Sasuke, most of his jutsus, just because of sheer speed, would probably get through Kakashi. I don't think that Kakashi, well, this Kakashi right here specifically, we're talking War Kakashi, just because that guy is able to spam Kamui, he might even have his Mangekyo Sharingan activated through the whole entire fight, you feel what I'm saying? But this version of Kakashi, I don't think that he'd have anything for that version of Sasuke. We understand that, but specifically the speed, I think it gets to a certain threshold where Kakashi's Kamui, it can't necessarily just read and react that quickly. He has to have his Mangekyo Sharingan on and active, like, at all given times.
Curse Mark 2 if it was needed.
Yeah. Now, what I will also say, too, to support the idea that he got stronger, is he isn't just out of commission as soon as he uses Kamui there, like he says he would have been in the Kakazu fight. So he definitely got way stronger from the Kakazu fight, where he's, like, at a point where Kamui is, like, a safe thing for him to use, right? Like, without instantly collapsing.
Well, the thing about the Kakazu fight that's weird is that, like, with the MS at least, because I believe versus Deidara, he tries to use the Kamui more than once. But versus Kakazu, what needs to happen for him to win?
This is true, but his mastery of the Kamui was, like, so off. Like, we seen his mastery of the Kamui in the fight versus Pain, where that, I forgot, the mechanic Pain, I literally just said his name, but I forgot. But the mechanic Pain, he was shooting a heat-seeking missile a missile that was moving around. It wasn't necessarily stationary in one spot. Kakashi easily got that missile. I think if Kakashi with that same mastery was in a Data fight, he probably just killed Data right then and there, just using Kamui.
He needs to at least Kamui the fire style. That was gonna like blow him away, and then he has to use his MS to beat Kakuzu after that. So I don't know. I do think he could use it at least more than once. And in the pain fight, he also uses it, I think, more than once. I think he uses it.
Yeah, he uses it to save himself from like the nail and then Choji. Yeah, but that does kill him.
Yeah. So, but not.
But it killed him because he was damn near dead. He was damn near like absolutely obliterated before he even started to use the Kamuis. So 2 is probably not his limit. I know some people just from that are probably gonna say that 2 Kamuis is Kakashi's limit. I doubt it.
Does he use it to deflect the nail and then save Choji? But he does that like when he's so incapacitated that he can't even like get out of rubble. You know what I mean? Like after using.
Yeah. So I actually think this supports what I was saying, that he just has like an insanely amped like reaction time, like with Kamui or whatever. Because like pain, like you said, like hits him and beats him up faster than anybody else.
Even before the MS gives him Obito level reactions, you remember how they were like linked in the war arc? That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
But
Obito was like playing around with Kakashi right here. He was definitely playing around with Kakashi right here. He wanted to have Kakashi take off his seal.
Like,
crazy.
You know how like Pain was like blitzing him and stuff, and then like Pain shoots a nail at him and Kakashi just reacts to it, and it's a like slow motion too in the anime. So like, maybe his Kamui is just like really really fast.
Yeah, MS Kakashi might just be crazy too. And then remember, like MS Kakashi was like going like sicko mode, like against even like Ten Tails Madara and stuff too. Like, I don't know, MS Kakashi might just be crazy. Like. Maybe that's why dual MS Kakashi was like god tier, like to be honest. But
like I never understood that, partner. It got different at this time in Naruto, bruh. Minato was getting Kurama. This man Kakashi was getting 2 Sharingans out of the blue, absolutely blitzing Kage just with Mangekyo Sharingans. Like imagine if Kakashi had 2 Rinnegan. Like he
didn't even get a 6-pass amp. Is actually
not even a 6-pass amp, just 2. Just basic Mangekyo Sharingans, not even EMSs.
It's just like, wow, I could use my MS for more than 0.1 milliseconds. Like, so I don't know. Honestly, MS Kakashi might just be insanely broken. But
I think it's like a defensive.
Yeah,
thing, though,
but you know, then it's like, okay. That aside, you know, that MS, cracked mode aside, how well does Kakashi do normally, And that's where it becomes a little bit harder to be like, I think Kakashi.
Because Sasuke's tough.
Yeah, because, it is somewhat narratively implied, like Sasuke is probably, like, above the normal Akatsuki members. And
the crazy thing is, I think... I mean, you could make legitimate arguments that Orochimaru beats Kakashi in a lot of the cases. You see what I'm saying? And Sasuke essentially absorbed Orochimaru, specifically the time that we're talking about, because this is like at the Itachi fight level Sasuke. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know. That right there is giving me cause to pause, because Sasuke is essentially Orochimaru. Like he's stronger than Orochimaru at that given point. I don't know.
Even the data book, which I said this in my previous recording, which didn't get uploaded, but there's a data book statement that says, Sasuke's power exceeds the Akatsuki, and one way I interpreted that was, maybe he doesn't have the chakra or the jutsu to, say, be the strongest shinobi, such as he doesn't have Amaterasu and he can't use a catastrophic
My guy says, I think War Arc Kakashi beats Sage Naruto from the Pain Arc. I don't know. I mean, if we're going War Arc Kakashi, matter of fact, I could get jiggy with that. Because his Kamu was just broken. Like again, he was Kamu in Full Tail Beast. Like I could get jiggy with that. I see that.
Or Tensei or Chibaku Tensei or anything of that. But maybe like base to base. If Sasuke shot a fireball jutsu in Curse Mark 2. Against, and say Tendo Pain shot a fireball jutsu back, well, maybe Sasuke's would be stronger, like it was in the Itachi fight. And just because Sasuke doesn't have the insane chakra reserves or techniques that the others have, that he can't overall be the strongest, but maybe base to base he was. Which
he got Obito's 6-pass Sage Amp? Or Obito's 6-pass Amp? Was that really the case? But I ain't seen it in a minute. If that's the case, then it's acceptable, bro. But if it was just 2 Mangekyo Sharingans that Kakashi got and he was out here boxing with Kage Otsutsuki, bro, like, oh my goodness.
I don't necessarily agree with, but it does seem like if the data book even has the audacity to word it that way, that maybe Sasuke is like high tier Akatsuki level almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that I think that all it's trying to say is that he's stronger than
like the average, you know.
Yeah,
like
yeah, I think he's like above Akatsuki level, which, let's be honest, so are Pain and Itachi.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, exactly. And that'd be supported by Obito being like, you know, I forgot you're a member of the Akatsuki, Conan. I should probably take you seriously, and then goes all out. So maybe Akatsuki level is like an actual level in their brains, and then they're like, yeah, Sasuke is stronger than that. So up to you guys to decide on that. That's just one way I interpreted it myself. So I would say, on average, that Sasuke is stronger than Kakashi.
Yeah, like if they have like a fireball jutsu clash, Sasuke's winning that like 1,000,000,000%.
Exactly. And if they had a boxing match, Curse Mark 2 is probably going to win
But this is the 4th ad.
the boxing match. But maybe, just maybe.
What is this? What is it? Hey, we're just gonna rock.
You know, if Kakashi's like, I'm gonna die, and he just turns on his like god mode, top tier in the verse MS reaction ability, and comwees him to death, then he wins. So, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that's all there needs to be said. I don't know if you have anything else, but I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, we've kind of gone over everything.
Reaction ability and comwees him to death, then he wins. So, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's still a good question. Even though they broke it down, I'm still kind of hesitant to say Kakashi wins. Even though at the beginning I think I did say Kakashi wins. I don't know. I don't know.
So I don't know. I think that's all there needs to be said. I don't know if you have anything else, but I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, we've kind of gone over everything. I guess I agree with you about how the fight would go, right? I think that Sasuke would like overpower Kakashi. I think it would actually be pretty even for the most part, like pre CS2, because like Sasuke's stronger, like base to base, and Kakashi's like smarter. But, like, Sasuke's still smart, but Kakashi's, like, Giga Genius Mega Mind.
Yeah. You know, something that kind of supports it, too, is that, you know, like, look at Naruto and Sakura versus Kakashi. They literally could not take a bell off of his waist for an entire day while he kind of, like...
They cheated. They had to cheat to do it.
While he didn't, you know, fully mess around, it's like Sakura's the girl who was avoiding Sasori, and, you know, Naruto's, like... pretty relative.
And she didn't train at all before then, so she couldn't have gotten stronger.
Exactly. And it's like, and then, you know, then you have Sasuke kind of like come down. It's implied he could beat them too, even before Curse Mark 2. But then it's like, okay, so what's better? Sasuke and base kind of like wiping out Team 7 like in a serious fight pretty fast, or Kakashi holding out for a whole day? And it's like, maybe Curse Mark 2 is kind of better, like, you know, low-key, you know, like, but that's just my...
I mean, beginning of Naruto Shippuden, Kakashi, I'd agree that Sasuke probably win, but anything else,
opinion.
I agree with that. I think as soon as Sasuke, even Curse Mark 1 would start to overwhelm Kakashi.
Oh, here's some good scaling, I guess. This is some old school Seth scaling, you know? You got that, you remember that statement from Orochimaru, like, you're nothing compared to Sasuke and that form.
And that's 3 tails.
Yeah, when he's using, like, 3 tails. So if Sasuke and Curse Mark 2 is stronger than 3 tails Naruto, and Kakashi's like...
What if he means base, bro? Could you...
And then Kakashi's like, wow, you have like 100 times more chakra than me when your 9 tails thing starts to go a little bit crazy. And he's only referring to maybe the 2 tails form versus Deidara, or something like that, or maybe he heard the 4 tails form from like Yamato's report, or something like that. Then it's probably very likely that Sasuke is a lot stronger than him. So, but yeah, so
cool. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, thank you all for watching.
I mean, this right here is a decent video. The argument itself, bro, I might have to put up a poll on the community tab just to see what people think. If we're just talking about Sasuke like just that Sasuke when he was fighting against Itachi versus Kakashi when he was fighting against Pain, that's really a good conversation. But I definitely do. I'm probably gonna hop off soon. I did want to talk about a couple of things though.